Hey everyone, welcome to Hanging with Uncle. I'm Gene, and let's get started. And what I want to talk about today, I think, is very important. So I would ask everyone to please subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell because this really could be the tipping point, the point of no return for the United States. And if you look at the Supreme Court right now, we just found out that they have agreed to hear the case on birthright citizenship. And that case is brought to the Supreme Court in a case by Barbara versus Trump. And Barbara is suing Trump because of his actions and deportations without due process, violating birthright citizenship, and he is wanting the total authority to do that. Now, the 14th Amendment was signed into law, passed by Congress, and ratified by the majority of states in 1868. That is right after the Civil War. And that is a result of the Dred Scott case, where racist Chief Justice Taney, his decision was no black man has any rights that a white man is bound to respect. And that was 1857. So shortly thereafter, come 1868, 11 years later, the 14th Amendment was ratified because slaves or black people born in the United States were decided, yes, you are citizens. Now, they fought for that. We had a civil war over that issue, but the 14th Amendment has been around for that long, 157 years. And now, Cadet Bonespurs, in his lack of wisdom, is wanting to end birthright citizenship. Number one, it's a constitutional amendment. And if you want to do away with a constitutional amendment, there's a process. And it does not involve the Supreme Court. But yet here we are, and the top court in the land has decided to take up this case. Why I think this may be the last straw, and I'm not like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm just pay attention and follow along with me. This type of behavior is something only a dictator would do. Something like Vladimir Putin or Kim Jong-un. And they can deny your citizenship and have you deported from the country without your consent. They can just come grab you and kick you out. And it's all based on what he feels. Now, again, let's pay attention to the evidence. And what does he want? He is welcoming people by the hordes that are coming from South Africa, white people that want to flee a land where black people rule. Will come here to the United States where white supremacy reigns true. And that's what they're trying to turn this country into. And why would the Supreme Court even think it has the authority to hear this case? Now, one thing I have not heard from any of the pundits out there, but in my opinion, this is screaming full volume a violation of the separation of powers in the Constitution. The Supreme Court does not have the authority by itself to just say, yeah, the 14th Amendment shouldn't be here. Again, there's a process and it is already in the Constitution, but this is that end round game because I can do what I want that this administration feels. So if there's one thing to pay attention to and one thing to support is to make sure your voice is heard, that you do not want the Supreme Court to think it has the right to overrule birthright citizenship, violate the separation of powers clause in the Constitution, and give more power to the asshole in the White House right now in 2025 that is not constitutionally afforded to him. Wake up, people. If the Supreme Court hears this case and rules in favor of Cadet Bonespurs, it's time to leave this fucking country.